All right, welcome. Here we are at On the Screws Golf. My name is Hank Morris. I'm a content creator and golf class streamer for advanced rookie accounts, as well as pro and the occasional expert account. And today we're here to bring you an exciting video for the 3rd anniversary tournament advanced rookie notes video. So let's get right into it. So let's go. All right, welcome to 3rd anniversary tournament. This is going to be a rough one. This is going to be one of those challenging courses that you're going to see 12s, 13s, the occasional 14s, maybe the 15, but that's not going to be very consistent, that's for sure. So let's see if we can't figure out how we can get 14-14 to at least lead our bracket into the opening round with a minus 28, and then in the weekend collect one more drop to go to 29, if not 30, and take the gold banner home with us on the weekend. So with that being said, let's get into it. All right. Hole number 1, par 3. Pretty basic, pretty straightforward, pretty simple hole. Excuse me, we have 2 options here. Sniper 4, 5, 6, or 7. Katana ball, plus 10 elevation, all right? So you can go 2 routes. You can disregard the 10% elevation and go 1 backspin, full right spin, a quarter ball right curl, and you're going to have the inside of the white ring cutting that right rough. Then you're going to go 1-to-1 adjustment, take your shot, hit it perfect, and see if you can't get it really super close, if not in the hole for a hole-in-one. Or you can go 1 top spin, 4 right spin, half a ball of curl, and go 10% max adjustment, right? And have the yellow ring touching the top of the shadow cutting across, and then the orange ring cutting the right-hand side of the rough. So those are your options. You have basically 2 shots, right? In rookie here, you're going to use, some of you might have a Viper, and you may want to use the Viper. I don't have the adjustments on that. We're only using snipers here tonight. Sniper 4, 5, 6, and 7. Your best chance is a version of the 2 discussed portions that we just talked about, which would be, again, 1 backspin, full right spin, quarter ball right, 1-to-1 adjustment, or 1 top, 4 right, half a ball curl to the right with the orange ring cutting the right rough. And then go max adjustment plus 10%. All right? Pretty straightforward. Can't do much with this hole except try and make it. And if you do get the drop, that's going to be 1 on the field. All right, so good luck with that. I do not have any pictures for the adjustments on this shot. Excuse me. Since I didn't want to confuse, I guess, all of you. And I only had 1 version, which was the 1 top 4 right. I didn't want to put that version in there thinking that everyone's saying, oh, that's the one we need to go with. I don't want to do that. I want to make you make the decision. 1 back 4 right, or excuse me, 1 back full right, or 1 top 4 right. So it's going to be your decision. Or you're going to have a hybrid of that. So good luck on that hole. All right, hole 2, par 4. Extra mile 6 and 7 with a Goliath 5, 6, and 7. All right, let's talk. I tried to go to the right way back in the day, right? In other tournaments. It just isn't worth it when you have such a really easy rough bump at your fingertips on the left-hand side, okay? So we're Xing out going to the right in all situations. We're only going to the left. So with that being said, you're going to see a 10% elevation with max adjustment on the tee shot, full topspin, 4 right spin, 1 half ball right curl, should end up about 366 to 383. Let's take a look at those first 2 adjustments. There they are. Full top, 4 right spin. You see that landing zone where about half the white ring is cutting that right rough? That's where you're going to put it. You're going to go ahead with the full top and the 4 right. No overpower needed here. Just give yourself about a quarter ball to a half a ball curl there, and it's going to get out really close, if not into those shadows that cut across the fairway. Now, when you get to the second shot, we'll move up a little bit here again, you're going to have a Goliath 5, 6, or 7. And what we want you to do here is a 2.5 topspin. Ball guide is aimed just to the left edge of the hole. Now, here are the distances. At 366, you're going to be at max adjustment. If you're at 383, you're going to be at min adjustment. If you're at 375, you're going to be at mid adjustment, okay? But 2.5 topspin, no side spin is always your adjustment here for the rough bump. Let's take a look at that landing position and the spin on the rough bump. Here you go. 2 and a smidge top, 2.5, and then nothing to the right or left side spin there. And then you can see the landing zone. You want the top of that yellow ring cutting the fairway and the rough, okay? So the whole entire yellow ring is going to be in the rough, and the top portion of the yellow ring is going to be cutting that fairway, all right? Then you can see the 2.5 topspin is going to aim you down that seam of that dark row of squares, and you're going to have it trickle down right to the left edge of the hole. You're going to take your shot, max adjustment, 10%, hit it perfect, give yourself a chance for that amazing eagle, which, again, is another opportunity to separate yourself from the field. So absolutely need this drop, okay? So hone in on that second shot. All right, hole number 3, par 5, big topper 5, 6, and the big dog 6, 7. All right. Now, a little bit of, an insider's tip here. If you're going to use the big topper 5, you need the Titan ball. If you're going to use the big topper 6, you need to use the Kingmaker. You can't interchange these two, okay? Because if you do, you're going to have either you're going to fly into the rough, or your ball is going to not go as far as you want it to after the first bounce. So let's talk. Excuse me. All right. Down on shot number 1. Full topspin, full overpower. You need to hit perfect, or as best as you can. You're going to use the big topper 5, okay, between 3.8 and 4.5. And if you use the big topper 5 with a Titan ball, you're going to end up between 416 and 421. All right. If you use the big topper 6, you're going to use a Kingmaker ball, and you're going to end up between 418 and 423. Okay. So we just gave you a kind of like a guide there. Anywhere between 416 and 423 is where you'll end up with a big topper 5 and a big topper 6. It's not really going to matter too much on the second shot, because the second shot's going to be very similar. Now, here's the difference. The big topper 5 has 215 yards of distance. The big topper 6 has 217 yards. If you use a Titan ball with a big topper 6 at full overpower, you will fly it into the rough and land in the bunker on your tee shot. If you use a Kingmaker with the big topper 6, you will be able to go full overpower and land just short of that fairway, or I should say the rough line, and bounce in the fairway over all of that trouble and go to 421 to 423, giving you a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for your next shot with the big dog 6 or 7. Okay, let's take a look at your landing positions. Full top, no side spin. There it is. You want to push it all the way out. You can see the red line underneath the blue ring. That means that we're already at max. We're pushing it all the way out to see extended how far the rings are from that rough line. And if you use the big topper 5, Titan ball, big topper 6, Kingmaker. I can't stress that enough. All right? We'll say it one more time. Let's say it together. Big topper 5, Titan ball. Big Topper 6, Kingmaker. All right. All to do with the distance of the clubs as well as the wind resistance, which helps manage that 2 extra yards. All right. Now, let's get over to shot number 2, which is the big dog 6 and 7. No worries here on either one of these. You can go with the same adjustment on both of these. 1 backspin, 3 left spin. You're going to have full overpower, max adjustment for the wind, adjust for the wind, and then take your shot. Do your very, very best to hit it perfect. And with the big dog 6 and 7 at 416, you're going to be right on the front edge for an easy putt or chip. And then at 421, you'll be on the middle of the green for a very easy putt. Okay, so there it is. 1 back, 3 left. And then you can see, again, we're pressed out or stretched out all the way at max in our landing position at the bottom right. And that's where you're going to adjust the wind from. So you're going to push it out, find out what the ring is per miles per hour, adjust for that, and then take your max overpower shot. Okay? Now, if you want, you don't have to hit any overpower, and you can try 2 or 3 top spin and just try to get it out to the right edge of the green up there and make a long putt. I personally am trying to make it so I can even separate myself even more from the field. So I haven't made it yet, but we're getting closer and closer as we make each attempt. All right. So hole number 4, par 3, sniper 4, 5, and 6. One more time. Kingmaker rough bump. All right. 15% max adjustment on this rough bump. So we got a couple tweaks and twerks here as well. So let's take a look real quick here. All right. 3 top spin and take a look at this rough bump. We're at +1 yards and we have the landing zone right in the middle of that rough. And you can see that the ball guide is significantly through the hole. Now we made this, okay? Yeah, it was coming in hot, but it went in, okay? It stayed in the hole because it went perfectly on the stick. It went right in. But if you go 2, 2 1/4 top spin, what happens about halfway there, there's a glitch in that green, and it just doesn't pop out of the rough as significantly as you might think, and it just slows down right in that midsection and ends about 2 to 3 squares short of the pin, just to the right of the pin. So it just doesn't get to the hole when you use 2 to 2 1/4 topspin. So you need about 2 3/4 to 3 to give yourself a really good chance of making that hole in one. Again, 15% max adjustment. Now, the last critical part here is this. Depending on the wind value and the angle of the wind, you may be able to get away with pulling it right back along the rough line and not have to push back up because you're not going to a lower distance, right? But if the wind is coming, let's say from southeast to northwest, you may have to adjust down into that bunker. If you adjust down into that bunker, still 15% at max adjustment, but push it back towards that pin 0.3, and you give yourself a normal, regular powered shot. You'll hit in that rough, and you'll give yourself a chance at getting close, if not a hole in one, okay? And we already went over those adjustments. Okay, hole number 5, par 4. Ripping out the big topper, the thorn, and yes, the berserker. Now, I made it. I tried it with the Kingmaker first. I got it in the rough. We made birdie. The next time, I made it with the berserker up to the 3rd fairway, and I just didn't have enough backspin on the berserker shot, but it was a centimeter away from going in, okay? And then I tried it 2 more times, and I dunked it into the sand both times because I hit a great ball to the right, hit it in the rough, and then on a big topper 6, I had it just at the bottom of the power grid, the power circle, and it wasn't broken or anything, but that extra 2 yards caught me, and I caught the rough, and it bounced over the water into the sand. I was not able to recover on either of those shots when you're in the sand. That's why you'll see in between shot 1 and shot 2, bring the Spitfire, because you might be able to get yourself an opportunity to get up onto the green if you bring the Spitfire on this hole. If you're going to go for the Berserker and you happen to hit a great ball or you fly it too far on your tee shot. Okay? All right, so let's talk about the adjustments. 10% max adjustment on shot 1, 0 elevation change on shot number 2, but at max adjustment. Full topspin, 2 right spin for the big topper, 5 and 6. Probably about a half to 3/4 of a ball curl to the right. And you'll see you need no overpower. And there is the adjustment. Full top, 2 right. And you can see that yellow ring cutting that rough line on the right. And that's where your 1/2 to 3/4 ball curl to the right comes into play to get it up through that rough line up there and onto that 3rd fairway. What a great design on this hole, but it's a great payoff if you can hit perfect, have the right adjustments, and get on that 3rd pad. Now, let's talk about the second shot here. Thorn full backspin with 1 left spin. It all depends on what level you have. If you have like a level 3, level 4 Thorn, you're going to have about 85% backspin or 85 backspin. If you have a 5, 6, 7, you're going to have 100% backspin. Obviously, 100% backspin is significantly better than 85. So let's assume you have the 100% backspin. This is what's important. You're going to keep the 3rd bounce no more than 1 ball past the hole. No more than that. Because the glitch up on this hole is, since you're elevated and that ball is coming in at that steep angle, it just stops right there, okay? Bounces vertical, and then it doesn't give enough momentum. It takes all the spin off, and you only get about 1 ball to 1.5 balls of backspin. So that's why your 3rd bounce has to be just right in the back of the cup or right behind the hole. You can barely see any daylight when it hits, if that makes sense. And that way it'll suck back into the hole and give you the eagle. So that's my best advice. That's my best judgment on your Thorn backspin shot with 100% backspin. If you have only 85% backspin, you need to have that 3rd bounce going into the front of the hole, okay? And it's got to be going down into the hole, so as that power 5 ball comes up, it's going to bounce, and hopefully dunk in right off the pin into the hole, okay? So those are the 2 adjustments that you're going to have to play with if you're going to try for the Thorn backspin shot, okay? All right, par 5, hole 6. We're going to go with a quarterback 7, 8, depending on what you have, and the big dog 6, 7 rough bump. All right, Kingmaker, 10% elevation on the first tee shot, max adjustment on both first and second shots. All right, here we go. QB7, 1/2 topspin with full right spin at the plus 12-yard mark. And you're going to max adjust for the wind, which is right around average 3.6 miles per hour. Now, if you go with 1 full topspin, you're going to end up anywhere around 310 yards, and that is a 1/2 ball from the rough. Way too close. You don't want to be that close. Don't put yourself in peril, all right? So don't use 1 topspin. Most you want to use here is a 1/2 topspin, which puts you between 307, 308 yards, which is a good 4 or 5 balls short of that rough, and it doesn't give you any worries whatsoever, and it's in perfect position for the max second shot, which is the max distance of the big dog 6 and 7. All right, so for now, you're going to use 1/2 topspin, full right spin, and a 1/4 ball of right curl. Let's take a look at that adjustment right there. 1/2 top, full right, yellow ring cutting the right fairway rough, okay? And you can see that 1/2 ball topspin and the full right spin is going to just bounce you over that little outcropping of rough line, and it's going to gently take you down right near the front edge of that rough line. All right, shot number 2, big dog 6 and 7 we're going to go 2 to 2.5 top spin, or 2 1/4 top spin, excuse me. No side spin, max adjustment at the +5 yard marker, and you're going to aim to the right side of the hole. So let's take a look at those. 2 and a smidge, 2 1/4, and then you're going to aim at +5 yards, and you're going to be doing the rough bump, 2 and a smidge, and you're going to aim that ball guide for what you can see, your best abilities, to the right side of the pin by about a half a square. All right. And that should give you a really, really, really good opportunity at an occasional albatross and an almost guaranteed birdie, or excuse me, eagle every single time. All right. Hole number 7, par 3, Goliath, 6, 7, and 8. We're going to go ahead and do the Kingmaker here, obviously. Want to cut down the wind on all par 3s, give yourself more of a chance. 20% adjustment on the tee shot. Now, options again. My goodness, there are so many options. First shot will be 1 topspin with max adjustment. You aim it directly at the hole with the top of the yellow ring cutting that fairway and rough line. Once you get it directly at the hole, you can say, okay, I'm now going to go ahead and do 1 topspin and just a smidge, just under 1/4 of a side spin left. Then you're going to max adjust for your wind, 20%. Take your shot, watch it go in the hole. Or, if you don't like that, you can go ahead and do 20% max adjustment after going ahead and doing 1 topspin, yellow, top of the yellow ring, cutting that rough and fairway line, and you're going to aim just left of the pin for your best guess, right? It's a little bit easier to aim at the pin than it is just to the left of it because it's very difficult. But if you try to aim to the left, you can knock it in, or it's going to end up to the right-hand side because of the wind push, as well as there's a slight tilt to the green going from left to right. But important, each shot, 1 topspin, each shot, the bounce shot or the top of the yellow ring needs to cut the rough line at max 20%. I wish all of you the best of luck on that hole-in-one opportunity. Again, if you can get the hole-in-one, separation time, you're going to build your stack up in that bracket of yours and separate yourselves not only for tiebreakers, but also for the weekend round, okay? You can see the adjustments here. 1 topspin. You can see the yellow ring down here in the bottom right-hand corner where it is cutting the rough line in the fairway, as well as the 1 topspin aiming directly at the hole. Then you make a decision. Do you want to move it just to the left, or do you want to just make a slight, spin, a smidge or less than 1/4 ball to the left? Okay, that's up to you guys. You'll have to tweak that. I think I'm just gonna go back and forth as I play throughout the weekend rounds. All right, hole number 8, par 4, one of the tougher ones. Excuse me. This tournament as compared to the last time we had this hole in a tournament, because last tournament the wind was behind us. Berserker, extra mile 6, 7, bounce it just short, plenty of distance to get over the water onto that second fairway, and then just have a little chip shot right in the hole each and every time for eagle. It was just a really simple hole. But this time, they made it a little bit more difficult. They're going northwest wind to a little bit southeast wind. So it's in your face a little bit, and it's cutting sideways. So it makes it that much more difficult to pull a berserker out with no wind resistance. And, you have to adjust that 10%. And you have to put side spin, full spin. It's inconsistent. So it's not the best option, which is the bounce shot from one fairway over to that little fairway. So now what we have to do is this adjustment. We're going to use the extra mile 6 or 7, Kingmaker, 10% adjustment, 2 backspin, full right spin, yellow ring cuts the right rough. You're going to max adjust with a half a ball of right curl. Let's take a look at those adjustments. 2 back, full right, yellow ring on the right-hand side of the fairway rough line, and half a ball of right curl. Okay? Pretty straightforward. Second shot, we had the Thorn 4 on board at this time. So you can do Hornet, Thorn, whichever you want. We were able to do the Thorn with only one topspin. We did max adjustment. We aimed it directly in the hole. We did hit it perfect, and we were able to make the eagle very routinely. One top, aim it at the hole, bounce it over, max adjustment, and it went in. Okay, so we got ourselves an eagle on this one. All right, finally, hole number 9, par 5. What a great finisher. One of the most difficult ones, and it's going to be either a backbreaker or it's going to be one of those that you're going to have to sweat to get, all right? Because it's all about the tee shot. So you got options. We, as advanced rookies, do not have low options. We only have aggressive options. So what does that mean? That means we are going to drive the ball full over power, bounce it off the fairway, over through the cylinder rocks, and hopefully up onto the fairway. If we do not make the fairway and we're stuck in the rough, bring your best rough iron so you can bounce it off that fairway onto the second fairway, and bring your Hornet with full backspin plus 10%, aim it a square short of the hole, directly in the hole, hit perfect, and it goes in, okay, for the eagle. But that's the hard way of doing it. We want to do it the easy way, so let's talk about it. The easy way is the extra mile 6 or 7, or a big dopper 5 or 6, and the big dog 6 or 7. So your choice. If you want to go with a big topper and knock it over there with a Titan ball, if you want to use the extra mile 6 or 7 with a Titan ball, if you want to use the extra mile big topper with a berserker, you have options here, right? Whatever you feel most comfortable with and what you can control the most. On this one, we went and used the Titan ball. So we went, my goodness, excuse me, too much talking, not enough water. Full top spin, 3 right spin, and we landed at 379. It was a really good, generous yardage for us. We did full overpower after adjusting for the wind, full top spin, 2 or 3 right spin, and got all through those little cylinders and up into the fairway. So from 379 for the big dog 6 or 7, we were able to go 2 backspin, max adjustment, and we aimed at the hole. Unfortunately, we finished 2.5 squares to the right of the hole. So what we need to do is aim 2 backspin, 2.5 squares left of the hole, max adjustment for the wind, and take our shot and hit it perfect. So here are the adjustments. As you can see on the tee shot, top left, 4 top, 3 right, landing spot right there. You see where the second bounce is in that little opening area, and then it ricochets off to the right and then bounces through everything, gets up into the fairway. And then on our second shot with the big dog, 1 backspin. We didn't put any side spin on it. You can see we have it aimed at the hole. It seems like we need about 2.5 squares left of the hole, max adjustment for the wind, and regular overpower, or regular power, no overpower, and give yourself a chance at Albatross. All right. That's it for the 3rd anniversary tournament notes from On the Screws Golf Advanced Rookie Edition. And we wish you all the very best. We can't wait to see how you perform. We hope these notes and these adjustments will help you in your match, in your game, in your opening, your weekend, and hopefully they will help you get to the podium. So until then, until I hear back from all of you that you're podium bound, I wish you the best, hit them straight, and have fun.